Hello, creatives. Thank you for dropping by. Before we get started, please hit that like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. It would really help us get discovered, and you get to see and find out when these videos drop. So today's thought is an interesting one that most of you who've trained in any kind of martial art or any kind of disciplined form of exercise or anything like that are probably familiar with. The saying goes, the more you sweat in the gym, dojo, training hall, the less you bleed in battle. Now, most of us aren't going into battle. We're not soldiers. At least a lot of us aren't soldiers. But the thought behind that is the more you train, the more you prepare yourself for whatever the event is that you want to happen in your life, that the more you get ready, the more prepared you'll be when that event occurs in your life. So what does it mean? In the dojo, what we used to say is that you have to sweat. And sometimes you would bleed in the dojo too, but you have to sweat in the dojo so that if you ever had to use what you knew, hopefully you never had to, but if you ever had to use it, you would train in such a way as close to reality as possible so that when something did happen, you would be ready. You wouldn't be caught deer in the headlights. And in life, you have to prepare. You have to get ready. You have to study. You've got to get ready for life in such a way so that when tough times do come, and they will come, life doesn't knock you for a loop, right? And so the thought today is that overnight success really happens overnight. And those of you that might have read Malcolm Gladwell's book or are familiar with this concept of the 10,000 hours realizes that to get successful in any area of life takes time. The problem with that for most of humanity and for most of society today is that we live in an instant gratification society. We live in everything needs to happen yesterday. And we don't want to take the time to get good at things or to perfect things or to master things. In Gladwell's book, the mastery comes supposedly after 10,000 hours. I don't know if it's exactly 10,000 hours, but it's probably close to it. 10,000 hours translates to a few years. In martial arts, one of the saying was it takes 3 years to learn how to make a fist. So to learn how to make a proper fist takes 3 years. And when I used to tell that to students, they would look at me with disbelief. But in a way, it's really true. It does take a long time to get to the point where I wouldn't say exactly mastery, but you get comfortable with certain things to such a degree that it becomes reflexive. In terms of my own personal life and writing, I started writing, I've been writing my entire life since I was basically old enough to hold a pencil and be able to write. But professionally, 2016, I want to say 2012 is when I really started writing, and 2016 is when it really started picking up. 2012, so from 2012 to 2024, you figure 12 years. And so it's been a little while writing. I don't know if that's 10,000 hours. I haven't gauged it that way, but it takes time. Overnight success, people say, oh my God, that person blew up. They're an overnight success. But they forget to see that behind that success are years and years and years of study, of training, of going through the trenches and doing the hard work. And a lot of people toil in obscurity. Nobody knows who they are. And then one day they explode and then they become this sensation. They become this overnight success. The overnight success rarely, if ever, happens overnight. It really is the product of many, many years, many hours, thousands of hours, many years of training, of doing whatever it is that they're trying to get good at without anyone seeing them. It's working in the shadows. It's when no one knows who you are. It's doing the work. It's getting up early. It's going to bed late. It's working on days that nobody can see you. It's all the stuff that you have to do that eventually leads you to that tipping point where you become good at what you're doing. I can tell you, for me, it took me a long time before I could say I can write a decent story. It took a long time. And in martial arts, same thing. It took me a long time. It took me many years before I could say I kind of understand what I'm doing enough to be able to share it with someone else. And so in your life, you have to take on that sometimes, most of the times, this is another one of those old sayings, but most of the times, the journey becomes the way. Right? We always have this mentality that we're getting somewhere. We have to reach a destination. We have to attain a certain level. And when you're focused so much on where I have to get to, you forget to look at where you're going. And in many cases, and in my life, it's been in every case, the journey becomes the way. And you learn more on the way to wherever you think you want to go, that by the time you reach that supposed place of culmination, that place of I've gotten there, you're a different person because you've gotten to the point where you've learned more on the way there. You've gotten more from getting there than when you get there. So today, I want you to take that in. I want you to understand that. I want you to internalize it. That overnight success really happens overnight. Don't give up, persevere, and above all, be uncommon. Have a great day.